Gilligan's Island only ran for 3 seasons, but now, not a single cast member remains to tell the tale. From the loss of Natalie Schaefer to the passing of Jim Bakus, those were just the first goodbyes. What follows is a series of heartbreaking farewells that continue to move fans to this day. Allan Hail Jr. as skipper Janos Prohaskca. Allan Hail Jr. was born on March 8, 1921 in Los Angeles, California. When he was 43 years old, he became Skipper Janos Prohaskca, the gruff but warm-hearted captain who always wore his white hat and ran the SS Minnow with a generous spirit. The role highlighted Allan's warmth and comedic timing, especially through his endearing back and forth with Gilligan, even when he was lovingly scolding the clumsy sailor. Behind the smile, Allan led a humble and meaningful life. He married Naomi Ingram in 1964 and remained with her until his death. After Gilligan's Island, he faced financial struggles as his career slowed. To cope with the downturn, he turned to the sea he loved, often sailing and sharing stories of real-life ocean adventures, reflecting the very spirit of the character he played. He passed away from thyroid cancer on January 2, 1990, at the age of 68 in Los Angeles, California, remembered as a man who always brought joy to those around him. Bob Denver as Gilligan. Bob Denver was born on January 9, 1935 in New Rochelle, New York. When he was 29 years old, he brought to life Gilligan, the lovable, bumbling sailor in his signature white hat and red shirt, constantly and unintentionally ruining the castaways' escape plans. This role not only showcased Bob's natural comedic talent, but also turned him into an icon of innocence and kindness despite the chaos he caused. Off-screen, Bob's life was full of ups and downs. He was married 4 times, with his final and longest marriage to Dreama Perry lasting until the end of his life. A father of 4, he deeply cherished his role as a dad and loved storytelling with his children. However, he faced his share of troubles, including an arrest for marijuana possession in the late 1990s. His health declined as he battled throat cancer, and he passed away on September 2, 2005, at the age of 70 in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Dawn Wells as Mary Ann Summers. Dawn Wells was born on October 18, 1938, in Reno, Nevada. When she was 26 years old, she stepped into the role of Mary Ann Summers, the sweet, small-town girl with her gingham dress and radiant smile who brought sincerity and optimism to the stranded group. The role showcased Dawn's natural charm and made her the beloved girl next door in the hearts of fans, always cooking and caring for everyone. But life off-camera wasn't always easy. Dawn married Larry Rosen in 1962, though the marriage ended in 1967, and she had no children. Later in life, she faced financial hardship, even relying on fan donations through a fundraising campaign. To ease the pressure, she found joy in gardening and cooking, often sharing her famous coconut pie recipe, a nod to her character. Her health worsened during the pandemic, and she passed away on December 30, 2020, at the age of 82 in Los Angeles, California, due to complications from COVID-19. She leaves behind a legacy of kindness and resilience. Tina Louise as Ginger Grant. Tina Louise was born on February 11, 1934 in New York City. When she was 30 years old, she became Ginger Grant, the glamorous movie star who, even on a deserted island, brought a touch of Hollywood sparkle with her dazzling gowns. The role showcased Tina's ability to blend diva flair with genuine warmth, as Ginger used her charm and intelligence to help the group, though occasionally with a dramatic flair. While the role defined her career, Tina sought to step out of its shadow and pursue new opportunities. Away from the spotlight, Tina's life was one of independence and passion. She married director Les Crane in 1966 and divorced in 1971, sharing one daughter, Caprice, with whom she remained close. Rather than retreat from life, she embraced art, spending hours painting in her studio, and became a passionate advocate for children's education, frequently reading to students. As of 2025, Tina is 91 years old, living in New York, still carrying the graceful spirit of a true star, and the last surviving member of the original cast, Jim Bakus as Thurston Howell III. Jim Bakus was born on February 25, 1913, in Cleveland, Ohio. When he was 51 years old, he brought to life the eccentric millionaire Thurston Howell III, a man of aristocratic flair and snobbish quips that charmed audiences with his lovable cluelessness. The role showcased Jim's gift for turning a wealthy, out-of-touch character into someone endearing, especially through his humorous exchanges with his on-screen wife, Lovey. Off-screen, Jim's life was a blend of joy and personal trials. He was married to Henny Bakus from 1943 until the end of his life, but in his later years, he battled Parkinson's disease, which greatly impacted his ability to perform. Though he remained optimistic, his health continued to decline, and he passed away on July 3, 1989, at the age of 76 in Los Angeles, California, from pneumonia, leaving behind a brilliant career and unforgettable memories. Natalie Schaefer as Mrs. Lovey Howell. Natalie Schaefer was born on November 5, 1900, in Red Bank, New Jersey. When she was 64 years old, she transformed into Mrs. Lovey Howell, the elegant wife of millionaire Thurston, who managed to maintain her lavish style and poise even while stranded on a deserted island. This role highlighted Natalie's refined humor and graceful presence, turning Lovey into a character both haughty and heartwarming, always looking out for others in her own unique way. Behind the scenes, Natalie's life had its own quiet stories. She was married to actor Louis Calhern from 1933 to 1942, had no children, and chose to live independently after their divorce. She later returned to her love for travel, frequently visiting Europe to indulge in its culture and cuisine. Natalie's health declined as she battled liver cancer, and she passed away on April 10, 1991, at the age of 90 in Los Angeles, California, forever remembered as a symbol of timeless elegance. Russell Johnson as Professor Roy Hinckley. Russell Johnson was born on November 10, 1924, in Ashley, Pennsylvania. When he was 40 years old, he became Professor Roy Hinckley, the calm, brainy scientist known for inventing bamboo gadgets, but not quite fixing the SS Minnow. This role showcased Russell's intellect and composed nature, making him a dependable figure among the castaways, even as he was often swept into humorous chaos. Off-screen, Russell's life was one of strength and compassion. He married 3 times, finding lasting happiness with his final wife, Connie Dane, with whom he had a son named David. After losing David to AIDS in 1994, Russell became an advocate for awareness and education around the disease. In his later years, he struggled with kidney disease and passed away on January 16, 2014, at the age of 89 in Bainbridge Island, Washington, leaving behind a legacy of both heart and intellect. Don Rickles as Norbert Wiley. Don Rickles was born on May 8, 1926, in Queens, New York. When he was 40 years old, he appeared as Norbert Wiley, a fast-talking con man who stirred up hilarious confusion with his sharp, satirical wit. Though brief, the role perfectly spotlighted Don's comedic talent, as he had the stranded group spinning in circles with his clever schemes. Beyond the spotlight, Don was known for his warmth and devotion. He was married to Barbara Sklar from 1965 until his passing, a strong partnership that brought them 2 children. Known for his insult comedy, Don sometimes faced backlash, but he stood firm in his style without ever becoming embroiled in scandal. In his later years, he suffered from kidney failure and passed away on April 6, 2017, at the age of 90 in Beverly Hills, California, leaving behind a one-of-a-kind comedic legacy and a generous heart. Zazia Gabor as Erica Tiffany Smith. Zazia Gabor was born on February 6, 1917, in Budapest, Hungary. When she was 47 years old, she portrayed Erica Tiffany Smith, a glamorous, wealthy woman whose extravagant style and humorous demands brought a dramatic sparkle to the island. The role was a perfect showcase for Zaza's signature charm and her iconic Dalink accent, leaving the castaways dazzled and a bit disoriented by her diva-like presence. But Zaza's real life was even more dazzling and complex. She was married 9 times, including to Conrad Hilton and George Sanders, but her final marriage to Frederick von Anhalt lasted from 1986 until her death. She had one daughter, Francesca Hilton, though their relationship was not always smooth. Zaza also made headlines for slapping a police officer in 1989, which led to 3 days in jail and 120 hours of community service, a scandal she later turned into comedy. Her health declined following a 2002 car accident, which led to numerous complications, and she passed away on December 18, 2016, at the age of 99 in Bel Air, Los Angeles, California, from a stroke, leaving a legacy of undeniable glamour and personality. Janos Prohaskca as Gorilla. Janos Prohaskca was born on October 10, 1919, in Budapest, Hungary. When he was 46 years old, he brought to life a hilariously unsettling gorilla, using his stuntman skills and animal impersonation talents to create moments that were both terrifying and comical, panicking the castaways while also entertaining them. This role showcased Janos's rare gift for turning silent, costumed characters into scene stealers. But Janos's life was as brief as it was surprising. He was married to Irene Prohaskca and had a happy family with 2 children. Alongside his love for family, he had a passion for animals and often studied them to perfect his performances. Tragically, Janos died in a plane crash on March 13, 1974, at the age of 54 near Los Angeles, California, leaving behind a unique legacy and unforgettable memories of his talent. Veto Scotty as Dr. Boris Balankov. Veto Scotty was born on January 26, 1918, in San Francisco, California. When he was 46 years old, he took on the role of Dr. Boris Balankov, a mad scientist with bizarre schemes, bringing comical tension to the island, with his strange experiments and attempts to control the castaways. This role highlighted Vito's gift for blending his Italian charm with eccentricity, making audiences laugh and squirm at the same time. But Vito's life was a vivid mosaic of flavors and emotions. He was married 3 times, first to Irene Lopez from 1949 until her death in 1979, with whom he had 2 children, then briefly to Jo Ella Thompson, and finally to Beverly Cohen until his passing. Despite personal and marital ups and downs, he never lost his passion for cooking and was known for hosting unforgettable Italian meals passed down from his mother and grandmother. Vito's health declined as he battled lung cancer, and he passed away on June 5, 1996, at the age of 78 in Woodland Hills, Los Angeles, California. Denny Miller as Duke Williams. Denny Miller was born on April 25, 1934, in Bloomington, Indiana. When he was 30 years old, he appeared as Duke Williams, a charming surfer stranded with the group, adding a touch of natural allure and fleeting romance to the island dynamic. This role highlighted Denny's tall frame and magnetic presence, leaving audiences with a lasting image of a strong yet likable young man. But Denny's life was a journey marked by resilience and optimism. He was married twice, first to Kit Smythe, who played Ginger in the pilot episode, with whom he had 2 children before they divorced, and later to Nancy Gordonier, who remained with him until the end. Not long after, he faced setbacks as he transitioned from his role as Tarzan to supporting characters, slowing his career momentum. On top of that, Denny's health declined after being diagnosed with ALS, and he passed away on September 9, 2014, at the age of 80 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Hans Conried as Wrongway Feldman. Hans Conried was born on April 15, 1917, in Baltimore, Maryland. When he was 47 years old, he portrayed Wrongway Feldman, an eccentric pilot famously prone to getting lost, delivering unforgettable laughs as he repeatedly disrupted the castaways' routine. This role showcased Hans's distinct voice and sharp wit, turning Wrongway into a character both pitiful and lovable. But Hans's life was a story of artistic passion and perseverance. He was married to Margaret Grant from 1942 until the end of his life, a strong, enduring relationship that blessed them with 4 children and supported his busy career. As his career blossomed, he faced numerous health problems, including a stroke in 1974 and a minor heart attack in 1979. Later, Hans's health took a sharp decline after a major heart attack, and he passed away on January 5, 1982, at the age of 64 in Burbank, California. Though they're all gone, the cast of Gilligan's Island left behind a legacy that still makes us smile. Their stories may have ended, but their impact lives on. Which character from the island was your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more updates. Thank you and see you in the next video. Goodbye.